Welcome to our channel. In this video, we explore NASA's latest roadmap for making Mars habitable for humans, covering year-long simulations, spacecraft developments, and the progress toward real missions in the coming decade. 1. NASA's Mars Habitat Simulation CHAPEA program. NASA is preparing its second year-long Mars simulation, starting October 2025 at Johnson Space Center in Houston. 4 volunteers, Russ Elder, Ellen Ellis, Matthew Montgomery, and James Spicer, will live for 378 days inside a 700 feet squared, 3D printed habitat called Mars Dune Alpha, simulating true Martian conditions with shelf-stable food-water restrictions and communication delays of up to 22 minutes each way. The mission will test crop growth, robotic tasks, physical exercise, mental health, and virtual reality Mars walks to evaluate human performance. This follows the first CHAPEA mission, completed in mid-2024, which provided key data on psychological resilience and sustainable living under isolation. To technological development in Mars habitation. NASA is advancing in-situ resource utilization (ISRU) technologies aimed at producing fuel and oxygen on Mars. One promising approach uses Martian CO and water with low-energy electrolyzers to create methane, fuel and breathable oxygen, complementing experiments like MOXIE on Mars. Meanwhile, research on synthetic lichen systems suggests future habitat outfitting could be made on Mars using biomineralized building blocks produced in situ by engineered microbes, reducing payload needs from Earth. 3. Mars transportation and propulsion. SLS, nuclear, and Starship, NASA and partners are working on multiple launch and propulsion technologies. Space Launch System SLS will be key to support Artemis lunar missions and future crewed Mars missions. Crewed Artemis 2 is scheduled for 2026. NASA also partners with DARPA to develop nuclear thermopropulsion to reduce transit time to Mars by 2027. SpaceX's Starship remains a leading contender for transporting crew and cargo to Mars, with plans for orbital refueling and deep space cargo delivery. For Mars sample return and international collaboration, NASA and ESA continue developing the Mars Sample Return (MSR) mission. The Perseverance rover is collecting samples, but subsequent phases sample retrieval and Earth returner under redesign due to cost overruns and delays. Revised plans aim for a lower cost, accelerated timeline reaching into the early 2030s. Additionally, China plans its Tianwen-3 sample return mission launching in 2028. A joint Mars Ice Mapper orbiter mission led by NASA and international partners is proposed to launch around 2031 to 33 to map water ice reserves that could support future human missions. 5. Acceleration toward 2026 launch window. In a recent major pivot, NASA is exploring crewed Mars launch opportunities as early as 2026. Backed by a $1 billion increase in Mars project funding in the 2026 budget proposal, this shift includes potential collaboration with Italy and support for SpaceX's Starship missions. 6. Summary and vision. NASA's roadmap is unfolding in stages. Ground-based CHAPEA analog missions testing human factors, ISRU, and habitat construction tech to enable self-sustaining life. Propulsion and launch vehicles, like SLS. Nuclear systems and Starship. Sample return and orbital mapping to prepare the planet, and accelerating toward human missions possibly in the late 2020s. Collectively, these efforts form a comprehensive strategy to make human habitation on Mars a reality in the 2030s. If you're fascinated by NASA's Mars plans, hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and tell us in the comments what aspect of Mars exploration you'd like covered next. Habitat engineering, rocket technology, life support systems, or planetary science. Thanks for watching.